Okay, Cricket Australia has come out and has said that it will not reduce the bans for Bancroft, Smith, and Warner in the ball tampering scandal that occurred at the beginning of this year. Bancroft received a 9-month suspension, and Smith and Warner both received a year-long suspension. Now, Bancroft is due to start playing again very, very soon, a couple of months away, I believe. Since those suspensions were handed out, Australia's form has deserted them. We can be pretty much guaranteed on that. Australia's, lost three of its key players from that squad. New captain's been brought in, new coach in Langer. They've also had a massive internal review commissioned into what went wrong at Cricket Australia, because it's not just on the players, it's on the organisation itself. And Michael Clarke, former captain, did say halfway through his captaincy they did change the structures of reporting from team through to senior management. There were many more layers put in, and the culture did change when Michael Clarke was captain. Now, Michael Clarke is one of the most well-respected cricketers in the game, and he had some concerns about things going on behind the scenes on the administration side and on the coaching side of things and the dressing room culture when he was captain. When he retired from the international fold and took a step back, partly because of injury, new captain had to be found. That happened to be Steve Smith. David Warner, there's been a history of instances with David Warner of misbehaviours on and off the field. Hence why his ban was so severe. When this review was compiled, though, they did say there was a series of failings, structural, personnel, the culture was all wrong, and it was basically very, very negative, and it basically blasted themselves, saying that we were crap. Cricket Australia looked itself in the mirror and said, no, we need to change. Fair enough. Then people were calling on the suspensions to be reduced, and Cricket Australia looked at it, and they have now decided this. The thing is, ball tampering is not the worst thing that's happening in cricket right now. There are corruption allegations, there's match fixing allegations against players, current and past. But I think Cricket Australia had to make a statement. If it was going to change its culture, I think it had to use these guys as examples. I see no problem with Bancroft and Smith returning to international cricket, be it in the IPL or Test or one day cricket. I think Bancroft was a very young, naive player, and that's a concern. He was taken advantage of by more senior players in that dressing room. The fact that only three of them got suspended and the whole team weren't dropped, because Freddie Flintoff on a podcast that he does over here for the BBC, on BBC Radio, basically debunked the ball tampering. Only those guys were involved, when clearly, especially the Cape Town dressing rooms, very small rooms, everyone would have known that there was a plan being hatched in the corner, because the room is a corner, pretty much, in the Cape Town dressing rooms. So again, there were those who obviously were not happy with the thing going ahead. There was obviously a clearly divided dressing room. There was clearly a negative culture of some players having a lot of power and a lot of influence over decisions, poor coaching, and all this was highlighted. There's been a lot of changes made to the Australian setup this year. I feel sorry for Bancroft. He was thrown under the bus by senior teammates. Steve Smith maybe wasn't the right player to be captain anyway, but you could see that he felt exceptionally a lot of remorse for his actions. David Warner, I think, was milking it. He did his interview separately from everyone else a couple of days later, basically mimicking the others. I think David Warner is done. There's a lot of Australians who don't want to see him wear the baggy green again. There are some that do, but it's a divisive issue, and I'm not saying it's perfect. But Cricket Australia has decided not to reduce the bans. That's it. We'll have to see when these players come back to being available to play, what role they play in the future of Australian cricket. Bancroft is an exceptionally talented young cricketer. Steve Smith is one of the best batsmen in the world, but he's got a flawed character, clearly. I don't see Steve Smith being allowed a captaincy or a vice-captaincy role again, at least not for the next, I would say, 5 years. I can see Langer having stern words with him and Bancroft, saying that Bancroft, you were stupid for accepting the role that you played. Smith, you're even worse for basically putting him in a position which was unnecessary. I can see Langer not having time of day for David Warner, but that's my personal opinion. That may not transpire. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below, because I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say on this, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.